Adler said that crime comes from the failure of striving for superiority. In a criminal's actions and attitudes, you see their attempts to achieve superiority, solve problems, and overcome difficulties. What sets them apart is not their effort, but the direction of that effort. When we see that a criminal's direction comes from not understanding society's needs or caring about others, we realize their actions are quite unwise. You see, why does someone become a thief? It's because he simply doesn't know in what way he can make more money than that. How much can a thief make? And what if they get caught one day? The risks are high. Therefore, it's actually a very inferior line of work. But why did that child turn to stealing at such a young age? It's because they have a strong desire for superiority and overcoming their feelings of inferiority before they have developed the right character or skills. Their feelings of inferiority were severe during childhood, so they didn't know how to work, lacked knowledge and education, and couldn't afford to go to school. Stealing became a shortcut for them. Crime comes from seeking shortcuts, feeling helpless, and pursuing personal superiority without contributing to others or showing cooperation. Some might argue that criminals do have cooperation skills. Like in the movie Fast and Furious, they seem quite cooperative, don't they? Those guys were so cooperative, right? You find that all criminal groups cooperate only on a small scale. But you see that cooperation in criminal gangs is limited to a small circle. Vin Diesel's character emphasizes family and teamwork among a few people. The problem is that this cooperation is disconnected from the rest of the world, making him a threat to society at large. Criminals usually have issues in one of three areas: their profession, their relationships with others, or their love lives. Adler said that all criminals are cowards, and crime is a coward's imitation of heroism. Heroes are admirable and impressive. A criminal wants to be like that but can't be, so they weakly imitate heroism through crime. They seek a sense of superiority through actions that are harmful and self-serving, rather than contributing to society. If they knew that we saw their cowardice, they would be very surprised. I'm going to take a shortcut. I want to make these people fear me, not to instill fear in invading enemies, but to make ordinary people fear me to achieve a sense of heroism. They are striving for a fictitious goal of personal superiority, but this is again a failure of common sense. We know that they are cowards, and if they were sure we knew it, it would be a big shock to them. That's quite interesting. I have a friend who is a police officer, and he says that when interrogating criminals, especially those involved in severe crimes, the officer's demeanor is very important. If you believe that a person committed crimes because they possess immense inner strength, it becomes challenging to break through their defenses during questioning. But if you can point out their cowardice, they might crumble under pressure. This is psychology. We need to break this misconception about courage and intelligence about crime. But where do we break it? We need to teach children that what criminals do is not true courage. Committing crimes, whether it's robbing, stealing, or being willing to go to jail for a gang, is not bravery or intelligence. Avoiding getting caught doesn't mean being smart. Many criminals, until they are caught and face their final moments, regret the choices that led them to where they are. They think, if only I hadn't listened to that person, or if only I hadn't fallen for that trick. They fail to realize that their life's mistakes stem from choosing the wrong path in the first place instead of carelessness. No matter how clever their efforts are, they are misguided because their actions are irrelevant or harmful to society and only serve their own interests. So how do we break people's pursuit of these misguided goals? It starts at home, in schools, and in correctional facilities. If these issues are addressed early at home and in school, a person might not end up in a correctional facility. If it's addressed in correctional facilities, they might not end up back in prison or on a path to more severe crimes. We have already discussed the role of home and school, so what should be done in correctional facilities? Adler said we should find ways to teach them cooperation, provide them with skills for earning a living, and help them experience the sense of contributing to society. Many criminals have never felt the rewards of contributing to society, so this concept is very foreign to them. Adler believed that no one is destined to fail. Criminals have chosen the wrong methods, and we need to show them where they went wrong and why. We must teach them to have the courage to be interested in others. Note this phrase, courage to be interested in others. As children, these individuals did have an interest in their parents, grandparents, and first teachers, but they were hurt by being abandoned, abused, or ridiculed, which made them lose the courage to be interested in others and collaborate. If we fully recognize that criminals are cowards and lack courage, we can see that the best way to prevent crime is to foster cooperation and interest in others. No child will choose to train themselves for a crime if they are guided towards cooperation and empathy. This cooperative ability must be trained. Whether it is inherited is irrelevant. People have an inherent potential for cooperation, which should be seen as a natural trait. Even criminals seek to solve problems through cooperation, as it is one of the three fundamental connections for a person.